So I've got to do my message on the run today. I'm that bloody busy. Up at 4:45 this morning again, working on campaign stuff. But I've got to send a loud, clear message to my friends in Wellington from the Labour Party. This has come as a surprise, but I know we've got to work together, and I know we can work together. I already work with about 3 or 4 of you secretly. But what I need to know today, I want you to help me understand, is if we're going to carry on with this COVID policy that we've got, which is, as you can see behind me, there's no one in the viaduct, and if we're going to bring a city and a country to its knees, I need you to help me understand why, going back to the Longy government, which was, one of your hallmark governments along with Helen Clark's, why did you, with Richard Prebble and Roger Douglas, go to Treasury and get an analytical paper, a risk assessment paper, mortality assessment, that said that you could deregulate transport and it would cost 20 lives? And that was signed off at cabinet level. And if you doubt me, have a look at Hansard. Winston Peters, good old Winnie, asked a question about it. But if in those days 20 lives was okay to deregulate transport, and I'm not saying it was or wasn't, I mean, with progress, you've got to factor these things in. They're just risk assessments. But why are we now locking down the country when we both know, Jacinda, that there's only been, depends who you talk to, between 5, probably, could be as many as 8, of people who have died of COVID. Everyone else has died with COVID, including, hilariously, that bloke out at New Lynn. It's never hilarious when you have a death, but the bloke who was shot, so he died of deep lead poisoning, shot dead, and 4 days later you made him a COVID stat. So that's bizarre. 5 people have died of COVID. Your own predecessor said it was okay to deregulate transport if it cost 20 lives, and by the way, Treasury was correct. The following year, 21 more people died, and you want to go fact check me? Go fact check me. I'm right on that. In addition, we had 14 drownings in the space of about 2 weeks over the holiday period, and that's a very sad thing, drowning, but I look at it like vaccinations. When you get vaccinated, you're effectively swimming between the flags, and if you go swimming outside the flags, it's like being unvaccinated, you die. So 80 people die of drowning a year, but I haven't noticed yet that you want to ban swimming, dear Labour government, my new dear friend Jacinda. So I can't understand why you're bothering to do that. Now, in addition, I was out walking during the week, and I went up that beautiful Mount Eden. It's a fantastic walk here from the viaduct, 2.5 hours to walk there and back. But I ran into some friends of mine up there, and they came from the medical profession, more particularly private hospitals. And they were telling me a story. These are medical professionals. These people are highly experienced and highly trained. They told me a story, and yet again, this is up for fact checking, so go for it, that 35,000 people, that's 35,000, have had elective surgeries or imaging put off during your lockdowns. That's a lot of people, 35,000, and we're talking people here, potential lump in the breast, can't do imaging, not allowed to hospital. So those people just all got parked up. Couldn't even do an x-ray on them, couldn't do a mammogram on them, couldn't do any imaging at all. There's 150 waiting for cardiothoracic surgery. When you get to waiting for cardiothoracic, it's serious. And these people who are experts in the field, they tell me that 2% of the 35,000 will die or have died because they couldn't get the appropriate attention, the appropriate intervention because of lockdowns. That's 700 people. 700. And that's highly likely to be conservative. So can you help me draw a line between your current model, as espoused by the likes of Michael Baker, I'll just name him, you know who I mean, those sort of people. How do they rationalise and justify 5 people dying, not one single person in Auckland in intensive care, yet we've stood back and allowed 700 people to die during lockdowns, plural, lockdowns, because they couldn't get intervention for elective procedures, cardiothoracic surgery, mammograms, that type of thing? I'm sorry, dear Labour government, I'm absolutely struggling to understand how your conscience can allow you to do this. But feel free to explain to me why or to prove me wrong. Happy on either front. Explain to me why or prove me wrong. And if I'm right, which I always am when it comes to these matters, can we both agree that right now, at cabinet level, you're going to talk about allowing Auckland to be Auckland again, allowing us to deal with the virus in the way that we know best, and you stop meddling in our affairs and stop inadvertently contributing to the death of 700 people. Over and out. Leo for Mayor. Don't ever forget it, Jacinda. I can work with you, and I will. Leo for Mayor. Bye now.